Good morning, everyone. This is Mrs. Sanju Malim from Springsfield, Masaptang, biology teacher. We are continuing with the first lesson, nutrition. Today, as I told you before, we are going to deal with nutrition in human beings and also diseases due to malnutrition and vitamin deficiency diseases. When we talk about nutrition in human beings, we should know the digestive system of the humans, that is, the alimentary canal of man. Actually, it starts from mouth. In mouth, we have tongue and teeth. Tongue and teeth helps in the mastication of food, that is, grinding, chewing of food. And tongue, the food which is masticated in the mouth is called as bolus. With the help of saliva. Saliva is produced by a pair of glands called salivary glands. 3 pairs of glands are present, salivary gland, and it produces an enzyme which is called as ptyalin. And this enzyme acts on carbohydrates and converts them into maltose. So the digestion actually starts in the mouth itself. And the carbohydrates are converted into maltose. The food bolus, with the help of mucus in the esophagus, the next part of the digestive system is the esophagus. It rolls down the esophagus and reaches the stomach. Stomach is a bag-like structure. So again the digestion takes place in the stomach. Stomach contains the digestive juices and the digestive enzymes. Here the digestion of proteins and fats takes place. Liver also plays a very important role in digestion. Liver produces bile. Bile juice does not contain any enzyme. It is the biggest gland in our body. Liver is the biggest gland in our body. The food after reaching the stomach is churned because here stomach produces the digestive enzyme gastric juice containing the digestive enzyme, and also HCl, hydrochloric acid. Dilute hydrochloric acid is produced in the stomach to kill the germs and helps in the digestion. The food is churned and it becomes soup-like and it is called as chyme. Here, in this part, the curved ending of the stomach is called as the duodenum, from where the food enters into the small intestine. Further digestion of the food takes place in the small intestine. In small intestine, the enzymes produced are pepsin, lipase and amylase. So the leftover digestion takes place in the small intestine. Carbohydrates are acted upon by amylase and are converted into maltose. Proteins are digested by the enzymes trypsin and pepsin and are converted into peptones and further amino acids. And fats are digested by enzyme lipase and are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. From there, the undigested part of the food, it goes into the large intestine. So no digestion takes place in the large intestine. Only the absorption of water takes place in the large intestine. From where the undigested and the unwanted food is stored, waste material is stored in a last part of the last intestine called as the rectum, and then thereafter it is ejected out through the anus. Now here we have observed that pancreas are also present which secretes the pancreatic juice into the duodenum. Pancreatic juice contains amylase, trypsin and lipase. Again, all these 3 enzymes acts on carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So we here see that you can see in this flow chart how the food enters the mouth, then buccal cavity, pharynx, from pharynx to esophagus, esophagus to stomach, from stomach to duodenum, through duodenum it enters into the small intestine, finally large intestine, rectum, and is ejected out through anus. So the ejection of the waste material is called as a defecation. I hope you understood this concept. It's clear in the picture the different parts of the alimentary canal in humans. And we have also seen the digestive enzymes. So we can have a quick recap. which glands produces which enzymes and they are acted on which food. As we have seen, salivary glands produces amylase which acts on starch and converts into maltose. Gastric glands in stomach produces pepsin which acts on proteins and converts them into peptones. Liver produces bile and pancreas produces pancreatic juice which contains amylase, trypsin and lipase. All the three carbohydrates, proteins and fats are digested by the pancreatic juice in the small intestine. And now let us see the diseases due to malnutrition. Now children, when we take a balanced diet, we are healthy. If we do not get a balanced diet, if we do not consume balanced diet, we may become deficient of certain nutrients. Our body will become deficient. Now malnutrition is eating of food that does not have one or more than one nutrients in required amount is known as malnutrition. Especially in poor countries where people do not get proper food. They are not aware of balanced diet, poor health, full starvation, lack of awareness of nutritional habits, socio-economic factors. All these are responsible for malnutrition. Now malnutrition diseases are of three types: protein malnutrition, calorie malnutrition, protein calorie malnutrition. We will deal with all of them. First, coming to the Kwashiorkor disease. As you can see in this picture, the boy is having a fluffy, bulged stomach, bulged belly. Now this is caused due to the deficiency of protein in our diet. Here the symptoms are the poor muscle development, swollen legs, fluffy face, diarrhea, dry skin, difficult to eat. So in many countries we find people suffering with this kind of disease. It's a protein deficiency disease. Coming to the marasmus. Marasmus is due to the deficiency of protein as well as calories, due to the deficiency of both. This occurs due to the immediate second pregnancy. The symptoms are lean and weak body, less development muscles, dry skin and diarrhea. This we usually see when there is a repeated childbirth, one after the other. Next, coming to the obesity. Now obesity is due to the overeating and excess of calorie intake. This may lead to diabetes, cardiovascular, renal, gallbladder problems. How can we avoid obesity is a big problem. Today we have to avoid in this world junk food. Avoid junk food. Eat at regular intervals. Eat a balanced diet. Do exercises. There are many other things that you can do to avoid the obesity. So see that obesity does not occur in any one of us. Next, let us see what are vitamins and vitamin deficiency diseases. Vitamins are organic substances. They are micronutrients required in small quantities. So we require vitamins in our diet, daily diet, but we require them in very small quantity. For example, there are many types of vitamins. Basically, there are two types: water soluble and fat soluble. Among the water soluble, we have vitamin B complex and vitamin C. And fat soluble are vitamin A, D, E and K. Now let us have a quick look at this. B complex includes B1, B2, B3, B6 and B12 vitamins. And we have the deficiency diseases here. Vitamin B1 is called as thiamine and it causes beriberi. And we should also know the sources of these vitamins. Where are they present? Vitamin B2 causes glossitis. It is called riboflavin. Vitamin B2 is called riboflavin. B3 is called niacin and it causes pellagra. Vitamin B6 pyridoxine causes anemia. Vitamin B12 cyanocobalamin causes pernicious anemia. Vitamin B6 folic acid causes anemia. And we have vitamin C causing scurvy and vitamin A causing eye problems and skin problems, night blindness, xerophthalmia, skin problems. Vitamin D is very important. It causes rickets and fragile bones. So children, we should consume vitamin D. It is present in you can consume liver, egg, butter, cod liver oil, shark liver oil, and you can take some sunlight to get the vitamin D. It causes the disease called rickets in children, that is the bowed bones. Vitamin E is called tocopherol. It causes the fertility disorders, sterility in males and abortions in female. And vitamin K, phylloquinone, causes the blood clotting problem. You must have heard about the hemophilia disease. It is difficulty in clotting of blood. So here vitamin K also plays a very important role. Almost all the vitamins are very important. So it is necessary that we should consume all the vitamins in proper amount in our diet. Today we have covered nutrition in human beings, digestive enzymes, diseases due to malnutrition, water vitamins, and the vitamin deficiency diseases. And the homework for today is draw a neat label diagram of human digestive system and also write a short note on malnutrition diseases. I thank you all for watching this video. Thank you very much and hope to see you in the next video.